trucks can't stop on a dime, big rigs need more time. Stay 30 feet back and learn more about road safety at freightntx.org. That's freightntx.org.
¿Quién se encarga de la atención médica de usted y su familia? Con Parkland Community Health Plan, usted lo hace. Si es parte de Medicaid o CHIP, Parkland Community Health Plan le permite tomar el control y elegir un médico cercano, llamar a una enfermera en cualquier momento y obtener recompensas en los controles y las vacunaciones. Todo esto por un bajo costo o sin costo alguno. Llame al 1-888-287-9830 o ingrese en línea para saber si califica. Pueden aplicar restricciones y limitaciones.
Sean Strafe here to announce AutoFlex's new Flex Lease Plus. This is the best lease you can get on your new car, and you can choose 90 days with no payments, $1,000 credit at the end, your lease to cover any wear and tear items that need to be fixed, and even get sales tax credit at the end of your lease when you lease a new car from AutoFlex Leasing. Call them today at 234-1234 or check them out at autoflex.com for details.
I don't waste any time here. I'm Jim Rome. I'm live. I'm in Southern California. And while this show is national in scope, we will talk SoCal sports. You just heard from Austin Eckler. Right now, we're joined by the head football coach at UCLA. Entering his fourth season with the Bruins, a recipient of 5 National Coach of the Year awards, a 2-time Conference Coach of the Year. UCLA is opening up against Hawaii August 28th. That's coming fast, right around the corner. Chip Kelly is my guest. Chip, it's been a minute or two since you and I have spoken. How are you doing, and what is the vibe like around the team and the program right now, Chip?
I'm doing great. I think the last time I saw you was at Media Day about 2 years ago, pre-COVID, so it's been a while.
It has been a while, and it's great to have you back, Chip. So bring me up to date really quickly. You've been building this thing since you arrived on campus. How would you describe, Chip, where the program is now compared to when you first arrived?
Yeah, we're in really good shape. I think our depth is really the most challenging thing, and we're back to normal numbers. We were under 60 in terms of scholarship players in our first year, and we've built ever since, and now we're at the NCAA maximum. Part of that, Jim, is COVID, giving a lot of kids an extra year of eligibility. So there's a lot of teams like us throughout the country that have some depth and have some kids that have played a lot of football. And, we'll have an opportunity to come back out and do it again this fall.
We're talking to Chip Kelly. Chip, not just the scholarships, but you go back a couple of years. I mean, it's amazing how young this team was. You had 87 freshmen and sophomores, which is an unbelievable amount of youth. For those who don't remember, what were those days like for you and your staff?
Yeah, it was fun, honestly. It was helping develop some young kids. We kind of basically threw them into the deep end of the pool. Nobody drowned. Now, not all of them swam the way we wanted them to swim, but, they made it through. And, as you said, those 87 freshmen and sophomores are now 87 juniors and seniors now. So we're excited about our depth, at all positions. And again, I think in this sport, you have to have depth because you're going to get tested week in and week out. We play a really good out-of-conference schedule, and then we play a really good conference schedule. So you're going to have depth to compete in the Power 5, and we feel like we have some depth now.
All right, so speaking of that schedule, I was going to jump ahead to that, but you've got Hawaii to start the season, and then a week later, you're going to host LSU. Now, that's the kind of game that's going to get a lot of attention. I know, Chip, you're only looking at what's right in front of you, but how important is it to get off to a good start and make a big statement right out of the gate this year?
It's always important to make that start and give yourself an opportunity to, let people know what you have. And it starts with Hawaii. Ty Graham is there and did a really good job in his first year there. And they play around. They play really fast, and it's an aggressive group. So we're excited to get those guys, and it'll be a really, really good test for us. So, our focus right now, we're in the middle of camp. We just got through day 12 of practice. And we're really focusing on ourselves right now, but in about a week and a half here, we'll start to really hone in on our Hawaii game plan and start to dial it up for the Rainbow Warriors.
I was going to say, Chip Kelly joining us. You're 17 days out until that game against Hawaii. I'm kind of curious, what's your reaction when you hear that 17 days out? Are you itching to kick off right now, or are you looking for as much time as possible to keep preparing?
Well, you're excited. Obviously, a year ago at this time, we didn't know if we were going to play football at all. And when we were in August, it got canceled, and then sometime in the middle of September they came out with, we're going to try to play. And on last year, our season opened up on November 6th. So the fact that we're going to play a game in August is exciting for us. But we're going to use every single one of those 17 days left for us to prepare for it. So we still got some work to do. We still got some install things to do in all three phases of the game. But we are actually excited to play football again and in front of fans, because that was the big thing that was missing last year for everybody throughout the country, to be able to play in front of the home fans, play in front of your family, and let everybody enjoy it.
You bet. Chip Kelly joining us. Chip, let me ask you about your quarterback, Dorian Thompson-Robinson. He improved his completion percentage again. He decreased his turnovers. How much has he grown as a quarterback since he first arrived on campus?
Yeah, Dorian's been awesome since he got here. He's grown every year. He very rarely makes the same mistake twice. He's a really, really good learner. But it was just a matter of getting him the experience. And he played in our opening game 3 years ago because of an injury. Our starting quarterback, Wilton Spate, went down in the second quarter, and Dorian was number 2, and he came off the bench and played and was not here for the spring before that. So it was really just 3 weeks of preseason camp, and then he's playing in a college football game against a really good Cincinnati team. So, from that day to this day, it's been fun watching him grow. His probably one of his best qualities is he's a voracious learner. He just wants to continue to get better every day. And we've seen it. I've seen him grow in all phases of his game, and I'm excited to see him play this year.
Chip, what about the other side of the ball? You're going to bring back a lot of talent on defense as well. How good can that unit be? What's that upside look like to you?
Yeah, again, that's we started to really start playing some really good defense last year. And I think our players really grasped what we were trying to do. We got some really smart kids on the defensive side of the ball, so we can present multiple looks. I think we led the league in tackles for loss, led the league in sacks. And we just have to build upon that because we really have lost just 2 kids off of last year's team. Osa Digazui was drafted by the Dallas Cowboys in the 3rd, and then Demetric Felton, who was drafted by Cleveland. But besides that, the rest of them are coming back. So all of that, we have a lot of production coming back, and we're excited to see how this team builds upon how they finished off last year.
Yeah, I would imagine, Chip, that in terms of that, there's been a lot of talk about how the Pac-12 South is wide open this year and that this team might be poised to win it. Does it feel like you're close to breaking through, and are those expectations something that you talk about inside the program?
No, honestly, what we talk about is being good on a daily basis. And for us, it's about the process. We've always believed that this game isn't about what you get. It's about what you become because it's such a great teacher. And I think our team has become really close, through COVID. We've been the only people on campus for a long time here. So I think there's a really deep connection on this football team. But we're really concerned with the micro deal, which is a daily basis. Are we really going to have a good Wednesday? And if we can continue to stack good days on top of good days, then by the time we get to Saturday, we feel like we got a really good shot. But we're not looking down the road long term, whether not even game 1 right now. We're really looking to, finishing off a really good preseason camp and then getting into game week. So we haven't talked about any expectations. Our expectations and our standards are to practice and perform like champions both on and off the field. And that's what these guys have been doing for a while now. So, we're excited to see another team, on the 28th of August, but we got a little bit of work before we get there.
All right, so let me finally ask you, and I appreciate what you're saying about the micro, that if you can stack enough positive days or winning days together, then it's all going to add up and you'll be ready on Saturday. But, yeah, and you hear that from coaches. Something else you hear, though, Chip, is that coaches like when a team is player-led instead of just exclusively coach-led. Is that the way this team feels to you, and why is it so important to have a player-led team?
That's a great point, Jim. And I really think this team is player-led, not coach-fed. We've got a lot of kids that have been around here for a while. They understand what the process is all about, and they embrace the process. And then we've talked to them about, if you love the process will love you back. But, our job as teachers is to transport knowledge. And I think our players have to be receptive to that, and they are. So when we're not around, and we're not around these guys 24/7, nor should we be. But when we have them for 2 hours in the morning for our training sessions, they're fantastic. But what are they doing the other 20 hours of the day? And I think that's where the player-led aspect comes in. When you look at guys that were the best at everything, like a Kobe Bryant, Kobe had a great statement that, if you're in the quest for a championship, then you need to edit your life. And I think this group, by example, the older kids and the leaders of this team have done that. They've prioritized what it takes to be a really successful student athlete here. And they'll continue to do that. But when the players can model what we're looking for on a daily basis, not while they're at the football building, but while they're everywhere on campus, it makes our jobs a lot easier.
I was going to say really quickly, Chip, if you have them 4 hours a day and it's up to them to maintain and manage the other 20 hours a day, what do you want them doing in the other 20 hours of the day?
Just being good people, being respectful to others, caring about the people around you, understanding that you can use football as a platform to help make this country and this world a little bit better place, and the best way to do that is, how you live your life. Are you doing the right things? We have young men on this team, and they're between 18 and 22 years old. They know the difference between right and wrong. And our kids, I think are a shining example of that. And that's what I'm really proud to coach this group, because it's a special group that really gets it. And they want to help. They want to be active members of the community, and they want to use the platform that this school provides for them to show people that you can do it the right way.
I like that. The season begins on August 28th. UCLA going to open up against Hawaii. He is the head football coach there, entering his fourth season with the Bruins. And once again, a 5-time National Coach of the Year recipient. Chip, great to have you back. Appreciate the conversation.
Right,
it's been a moment or so.
We'd love to get you up to the Rose Bowl for one of those games, in either the opener or the next one.
Love to have it. Let's do it. Let's do it, Chip.
All right, Romy.
Good talking to you, Chip. Great to have you back. Used to love talking to Chip back in the day. So good to have him back on the program. And UCLA is definitely a team to watch. I understand the micro. I understand stacking winning days on top of each other. But here's what else I understand. That Pac-12 South is open. They've got to look at this thing. They're returning a lot of guys. They're maturing. And I like what I see and what I hear coming from that program. So that's going to be really interesting this year. And good to have Chip Kelly back. Been a couple of years. So my thanks to UCLA. We've had a big UCLA week. Mick was on yesterday. Chip was on today.
Trucks can't stop on a dime. Big rigs need more time. Stay 30 feet back and learn more about road safety at freightntx.org. That's freightntx.org.